Does being a bad person actually help you get further in music? Sometimes, but there's a big catch. The age-old question, does being a bad person help you make any music? I think it can, and I think that at the same time, there's a curve to how much it helps you. So, before this video starts, I'm Julian. If you don't already know, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. Check out my website at the top of the description for the best sounds in electronic music. Thanks for the support, guys, and let's get going. Alright, so... yeah, I've seen it kind of go both ways, right? I've seen people get a lot of reward, honestly, for kind of being like the worst person. As bad as that sounds, there's definitely a lot of cases where you can look at it that way and you can make an inference and say, oh, being a bad person helped this person make it. Because I do think that being a bit selfish and being a bit self-centered are essential, right? Because, like, you know, to some degree with music, half of the battle that I've been learning, or that I have learned, is like, I mean, half the time it's just trying to get people to not just use you as their mix and master engineer, you know? It's like, half the time, it's just, you have to just have enough, like, self-belief just to, like, not turn into a mixing and mastering engineer along the way. If your dream was to be a musician, I'm not saying like being a mix and master engineer is bad. I'm just saying if your goal is to get in there and be an artist, and then someone tells you, oh yeah, man, you're great, but you should really just mix the records, and you're not really, you know, that self-centered, you might actually go do that. And then next thing you know, you spent your whole life not realizing your creative potential, right? So it can be dangerous. I think that there's a lot of people that win that way also by kind of being the most bad person. Here's the thing to all of that, okay? So I think the way that a lot of people see it when they're doing it is it's like, here's the curve of like making it just being like regular or just like a good person, okay? And then here's the curve where you're a bad person and you don't care what you do to people and you go up, right? So they see it where they're like this, right? Like if you are just being terrible and you just don't care about other people and you just like don't care about your freaking girlfriend's like birthday, okay? They think they're just gonna go zoom. And it's like, oh, I'm saving so much time because I'm not doing all this. Here's the thing, though, bro. It's a curve. So what's going to happen is it's going to go like this, right? Oh, wow, you didn't go to your girlfriend's birthday. Oh, man, yeah, you really, like, yeah, you were in the studio locked in. Okay. Oh, you're making it? All right, boom. And then it crashes down. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get those chances, right? You are going to get in some places faster because you aren't, like, weighed down by, like, trying to do all that stuff. It's going to crash, though, because then when you get there, you made it off of being a bad guy. So your karma's all screwed up, if you believe in that, first of all. Second of all, you're going to be around the people that would put up with you being this terrible version of yourself. So they're probably not going to have it together themselves, and they're probably going to step on you and treat you like garbage. I'm telling you guys, this is all based off of experience. I've seen this all happen multiple times, multiple situations, same story, different people, you know. It's like you think that, you know, you're saving yourself time and you're able to be more efficient because you don't care about people as much, but it's going to put you in a really bad place once that works out. And then on top of that, now the girlfriend whose birthday you want to go to because you were too busy in the studio, you know, mixing kicks or whatever, now you don't have her. And that's the other side too. It's like you're going to get there and you're going to be a bad person, you're going to have made it, and you're going to be like, yeah. But then none of those people are going to be there with you. And that is ultimately like the biggest punishment, I think, personally. I think, like, because really these things are best experienced like with people, you know? Like flying, for example, like traveling as a DJ. When you're alone, it can feel really, really lonely. It feels like a job. It feels like, no, I'm not traveling. I'm just like, you know, by myself. But when you have somebody come with you, you know, and you take a little time, if you have it. I know usually touring, you don't have a lot of time. But if you take a little time and, you know, you get to go and, like, chill at the resort or chill at the pool at wherever you're staying or whatever with someone that matters to you, I think it just is, like, infinitely better. I mean, I think that's the human experience. Like, we were made to do that. So all of this is going to say, like, you might think you're getting there faster by, like, not caring about people and being a worse person and I don't need friends, I'm going to blah, blah, blah. But, dude, all you're doing is you're just getting to a crash faster. And that's what the whole point of this video I'm trying to explain is. It's like, okay, again, going back to this curve. So this is the curve of being a bad person. This is the curve of making it being a good or like normal person, right? Oh, this goes up so much faster. But this is gonna crash like way over here versus this is gonna go, because again, you're gonna get into year one. All your managers, all your team, all your staff, everybody that you work with is just gonna be like just lost, like impossible, like just terrible, can't really be like a friend with them, you know, that kind of thing. Like I said, the girlfriend whose birthday you didn't go to is gonna be long gone. I mean, it's just like a lot of different things that are gonna smack you in the face at once if you do this. So this is why ultimately I think we should just try to be humans here. We should be friends with each other. And in general, man, like really making it, I mean, the journey and the destination are the same thing. And I'm gonna make a video about that soon too. And I'm saying this to say a lot of this bad people stuff, or a lot of this I'm gonna be the worst person so I'm gonna win the most mindset, comes from this concept, or it comes from thinking that the journey is just the journey and the destination is what we're trying to get to. Well, dude, there's a lot of great times on the journey too, you know? Like I'm in LA right now, like trying to do different sessions and stuff. We're like producing for hip hop and pop and stuff, right? And it's like, I've realized this, like it'd be really easy to go, oh man, like I'm not even gonna be happy until like we get that big placement, you know? But dude, think about all the fun times just spent making beats before that, you know? Think about all the days like you hung out and you had like a great day, probably better than you would have just hanging out with those guys, you know? Like, and that's why I say the journey and destination are the same thing, because it's like the journey is just as beautiful as the destination. All this leading back to the thing of being a bad person or a good person, because if you're being a bad person, you're only thinking about the destination. You're thinking, I'm going to get to the destination at all costs. I don't care what happens. I don't care who I hurt. I don't care. And what's going to happen is then you get to the destination, you realize you completely missed the journey, and now you're at the destination without a whole lot of love to be there for you, because you're going to need that, you know? I mean, if you really buy into capitalism that much, so you just think like, oh yeah, like humans are going to be good, like if all I got to do is just get famous and make a bunch of money and be able to buy anything I want, like, dude, there needs to be more warnings for that. Like, when you go to Guitar Center, they should be like telling you, like, bro, do not pick up this guitar just to get girls. Like, you are gonna be sad. Like, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these kinds of concepts, because really, like, I mean, music is about making music. It's not about where you get. It's not about like what you can do with it. I think now, if you're trying to feed your family, right, and get out of poverty, okay, that I get that. That actually is like important, but. You know, even then, I still wouldn't say use music to do that unless you really love making music all day long, right? So, anyway, yeah, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. I just want to talk about this because I think a lot of people were talking about this lately on YouTube. And it's important to remember, because I don't want to have, like, all the people that watch this channel just rush to the finish line, miss the journey, have a sadder destination because they had a miserable journey. And, like, yeah, man, just take your time, you know, let it happen how it's going to happen, and maybe just try to be a friend to somebody, you know? Whatever happened to, like, hey, yo, if I'm going to, like, ask you to do a collab with you, or I'm going to ask you to, like, make music with me, I would also listen to you, like, when you're not doing well. Like, I don't get that, but, I mean, that's, you know, that's the universe. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. I love you all. Definitely let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like this video, as well as subscribe. Check out my website for the best sounds in electronic music. And I'll see you tomorrow with another video.